Welcome to Hands, Heart, and Hustle, where we talk about real growth in life, business, faith, and health. This is a show where we dig deep into the drive, purpose, and passion that fuel everyday people doing extraordinary things. I'm your host, Juan Briseño. Let's get into it. My guest today is Nestor Gutierrez, a man who proves that discipline and work can take you from humble beginnings to real success. He's not just an entrepreneur, he's living proof of what happens when you stop talking about your dreams and start taking action. His journey is about turning struggle into strength, opportunities into growth, and showing our community what's possible when you show up every single day. Hey, first off, Nestor, I want to say thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for the invite, brother. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure just seeing you grow and just being friends, you know. It really inspires me to be who I am and try to look for more and grow.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Really glad to hear that. And I mean, yourself, I mean, really proud of you. I mean, where we met, where you were at to where you are today, man, I see a lot of changes. So that's good. Keep up the good work, bro.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, it's when you're part of a group that you see the bigger picture, you start to like get inspired and want to go into like working out and being better at your job. So, you know, being a better CEO. So yeah, man, it's been good. It's been a journey.
That's
for
good.
The last what 3 years?
3 years of about I think about almost 3 years.
Yeah.
I want to say 3 years, but I mean, what you said is really key because people take that for granted.
Yeah.
Like really, who you really hang out with, like it really defines your future. And if you really put in that work, I mean, great things happen. I mean, you're a testimony to that.
Right.
And it's just different, you know, when you have in your corner, you have people that you can count on for when things get a little ugly, you know, it really makes life different.
Right.
100%.
Yeah, I didn't believe that, you know, the 5 people you hang around with, but I started to really notice it, like, this person I need to get rid of, and I need to go more with these people because it's a contagious.
Yep.
And it's building me up.
Yeah.
I mean, you're surrounded by people like, you know, Mario Arizon and other people of names that are just very powerful in the industry.
It's contagious.
Yeah.
It's contagious. And that's my favorite part about like hanging out around with great people.
Mm-hmm.
Because you learn from everybody, you know, and for me, it's just like, what can I learn from someone that's not even in my industry, but what can I learn from them?
Yeah.
And then apply, you know, like I've learned that you can say the harder way, but I learned that before I would just kind of go and you know, network, mingle, and it's like, so what was the outcome of that?
Yes.
So now it's more like strategic. Okay, I'm going to this, I'm looking for this. I need to talk to 3 people. I need to learn this. I need to learn that. Like, that's my mission, you know? Right. So I'm not just wasting time. Now I'm being more active on what I have to do.
Because there is networking where you could just go and waste your time and just have a drink and just BS all the time, right?
Yeah. I mean, those are all over the place, you know? But if you're really there to actually do something and plan ahead, I mean, obviously you gotta work on the relationship more than anything. But it's just about like really like having a motive on why you should go to wherever you're going, you know, don't just show up just to show up. That doesn't matter as well. Don't go at all, you know, because I it's like when you go to events, you have people, you know, that want to sit in the way back, and they have people kind of like they can afford the front, but then sometimes they sit in the middle because it's like, oh, 500 in the middle and I have 2,000 in the front. I'd rather save the 1,500. I mean, we're in the same room, right?
Right.
But I mean, you've seen it yourself. You know what happens in all those tiers when you're in the front. Great things happen, but why? Because goes back to the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
In the front, there's high quality people, high quality conversations that sometimes it opens up to more business ventures. And it's just like, just from attending that one event that is like, wow, I can't believe I met this person from this, because of this person now the sea opened up, you know. So this is an example about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, man. Thanks for sharing that. Let's get into some deeper questions, like, you know, how did you grow up and where you from and stuff like that? Can you share a little bit?
Yeah, of course. So I'm originally from Mexico. I came to the U.S. at age 8. I think that's one of the hardest moments in my life. Obviously, learning a language that is not my primary language. Really struggled. It would get really complicated the first few weeks. Not gonna lie, I felt like I felt horrible. It's one of those feelings that I hated not really being in control of speaking a language. So I felt like useless.
Yeah.
And obviously I was depressed. This was 3rd grade, and it forced me to, you know what, like, I can either give up, because I told my dad I don't want to go to school anymore. Like I don't know anyone. People talk to me. They're trying to be nice, but I don't understand. And it's like,
So you were born in Mexico, and at 3rd grade you came into the States?
Grade. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, it just sucked that, I mean, no one in my class spoke Spanish. So it was it was really bad. But on the other side, I'm glad it was like that because it forced me to learn the language. Because imagine if there was a few people that spoke Spanish,
Yeah.
then it's like, you know what? Well, I have these guys I can talk to. I don't need to learn English. So when you look at back at all the journey, is like I'm glad. Like I wouldn't change a single thing because it forced me to do the things obviously that made me uncomfortable.
Right.
And I started learning the language pretty quick because of that. I started becoming a very like efficient student. I would really put in all that hard work. My
Mm-hmm.
mentality changed after a while, and yeah, I mean, we grew up in the farms. I used to help my parents doing yard work, so I would go to school. I started in middle school in 6th grade, so I would get out of class around 3:30. I would go to my neighbors' houses. I would start knocking on doors. Hey, do you guys need any help cleaning up your front yard? And it started by one, and then next thing you know, I had like the whole block, and it was just like for me at that point, it's like, you know what, if I can make at least $100 every week, I mean, got $400 for the month,
Right.
I can at least help something with my parents. My parents weren't asking for money, but I saw that I just felt uncomfortable, like knowing that maybe I could do something to
Mm-hmm.
help them out, and just sitting at home for the weekend, like it didn't feel right.
Right. Right.
But that's how it started, during high school.
Where
And
was this at? Was it
it
here in
was up
Rancho
up
or
north, up
up
north.
north?
Yeah, up by Lake Tahoe.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's a small town, Colville, California. But that's where I grew up. I mean, 400 people.
Got
My
it.
my graduating class was like 28.
Yeah.
Super
So
super tiny.
the language was because it's more Caucasians out there than
Yep.
it, right,
Yeah, yeah.
than
Yeah, yeah,
Mexicans
yeah,
or
yeah.
any Latino.
Now it changed. Now there's a little bit of like 50-50, but yeah, when I first got there, it was like literally like the only one.
Right. So let me ask you a question on that.
Uh-huh.
As far as the lessons that you learned during childhood that actually shaped you to who you are now,
Uh-huh.
what would you say that would be? Would it be the overcoming the language barrier?
I think it has to be up there. Another thing I think is being from the Latino community, kind of like the perspective of when you change countries is
Mm-hmm.
you come here for a better life, but then I feel like that has a cap. You already come with a cap of American dream, get the home, get the car, and you're set for life.
Right.
So I think yes, the language did 100% was one of the better like best things that it could ever happen to me. Learning a different language. But aside from that, I'm glad that my dad, even though he never achieved what he wanted to achieve, he wanted me to do that. So he's obviously like my best friend. We got along very very well. I mean, he would take me to the fields during the summer, so we would connect a lot.
Right.
We're talking about 10 H10 H12. Just having deep conversations like, hey, I want you to do big things in life. I want you to do all the things I was never able to do. I never had the guts to do. I want you to do them.
Wow.
So that's where like those conversations really like stood with me.
Yeah.
And I when I was going through the high school motions, I'm like, well, my dad wants me to do big things in life. Not aside from like have a good job, but like, hey, instead of working for someone, like be an owner. You can possibly. But it's those little things that I don't know. Maybe it's just in me now, but it's like those conversations I didn't take for granted. Because I
Right.
mean, at first, yeah, dad, yeah, of course, yeah, I'm gonna do good, you
Yeah.
know.
He planted a seed
Yeah,
in you.
but he like over and over and over and over again. Sometimes, I mean, not gonna lie, we would get in arguments like, yeah, like come on, like I know what I'm doing, blah blah. But it's that adult age,
Right.
that
Right.
you think that you're,
You know everything.
yeah.
So your dad was he was an entrepreneur.
He wasn't an entrepreneur at all. But he was one of those guys that, I mean, till this day, he has really, really good ideas, but taking the next step is like, I don't know how.
He
He
hesitates.
hesitates. Sometimes it's because of money. Sometimes it's like, oh, what about if it doesn't go well? It's like, but the
Fear.
ideas is like
Yeah.
they're there. So that's why like I'm glad like I was able to overcome that because I mean at first too I was super introverted,
Right.
super super shy. So I think the fact that also I went from graduating over there, starting a brand new life over here in SoCal. I did come with family members, but it was like, I mean, I grew up with my parents, so it
Mhm.
was like I was another little portion of depression, you can say. When
Right.
I moved over here, it's like it was just different. I wasn't used to the city. I mean, not even though it was family, it just didn't feel like I was at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like that helped me a lot too. I think it made me really like think about what I wanted to do in the big picture.
Right.
And I just thought about all those memories, like when my dad would tell me, hey, I want you to do big things. I want you to do big things. I'm like, damn, it's game time. We gotta start working towards that. To be honest, I was not planning on being an entrepreneur, at the age of 24, but it happened for a reason.
Right.
For me, it was more like, let's get a job, let's finish the college, maybe 30, 40, we'll talk about business. You know, that was my mentality. I wanted to work towards it, but I didn't think, like in the 20s it would happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was from him that giving you those affirmations daily, son, do this, that actually drove you to he planted that seed.
Yeah.
And you kept constantly just kind of like rehearsing it in your mind, right? You have to do something. You have to do something. See, that's what's nice about having a positive father and a
100%.
father that's there, because a lot of people don't have that.
Yeah, that's honestly, I mean, I cannot express enough in what you just said. I have friends, I mean, that have kids, and I feel like sometimes that you look at the way the kids behave is like, well, I see why. It's because the father is absent. And if there's no attention, then obviously that's why sometimes the children are the way they are. Because like parent, I mean, now that I'm a parent, I understand a million things. And goes like I said, we take it back in time when my dad tell me like, you might hate everything I tell you, but when you become a parent, you're gonna understand me. Like that, like every single day, like I think about that. Because sometimes like, yeah, as an adult, I mean, as a teenager, you're like, oh yeah, you think you're balling.
Exactly.
But then it's like, damn, now I think about like what my dad and my mom went through is like, damn, I'm gonna go through it too. Now it's like my mentality just shifted, because of the way obviously life goes.
Did you always have that thought about being above the average with those words that he would tell you, or
honestly, it was kind of like 50-50. It was like for me, like he was like, oh, you should get in the automotive industry. It's an industry that's never gonna go away, and you can fix your own car, you can save some money and whatnot, and it's a good industry to be in. And then I'm like, well, Dad, what about I want to make money, what about I was actually looking at becoming a paralegal. One of our neighbors, she had a really ranking job in the courthouse of Sacramento. So they're like, I can easily get you here. There's a lot of ways for you to achieve that goal. We can send you to Oregon. Everything's paid, training. It's just commitment from you. And this was like around age 17. So it put me in a corner like, damn, do I want to do that? And I'm like, I was looking at the income. I'm like, they make good money.
right?
All I gotta do is just translate in court. Like, that's an easy job, But then I look at the school and I'm like, I don't know about that. And then it's like thinking more of the big picture. I'm like, I just don't see me doing this because it's not in me.
Right.
So I was kind of like, I'd rather go like the automotive way. I mean, I love cars. At the point, I mean, I've always loved cars, but back then it's like, I told my dad, what about if I work at a dealer selling cars? Those guys make good money too. So, I mean, we can do that. And it would always end up with cars, And then my dad graduated. He's like, hey, I just want to have a conversation with you. You say you want to do automotive, but I've been thinking about it. I don't want you to do automotive just because I'm telling you, because I don't want you to go ahead and do something that you hate, and then I'm gonna be at fault,
Yeah,
So
doing it for him.
Exactly, So he's like, what? Before you go ahead and commit, just want to have a conversation with you, making sure that we're in alignment, and I don't want you to pay for school that you're not gonna enjoy that. If you rather go with the law, then go ahead and do that. I'm like, no, you know what? It's opposite. I want to go with automotive because I feel like I'm more interested than the law. Like for me, it's like the reading. I hate vocabulary. I mean, I hate it all, And it was, aside from that, it was more of the introverted. I'm like, what about, I'm gonna get really nervous and core and all that. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead and go this route.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's a good dad. Let's talk about something that you said earlier, right? When you being an immigrant, the hunger to succeed. So in our culture, you see our people that value the family and the tradition, but there's always lack of action.
Yeah.
Why do you think that we never take the next step? Is it because of fear? Is it because of resources? I mean, you see it like when the people come into the United States from Mexico or from other countries, they never take that action to actually get like a citizen or actual be in the country legally.
Yeah.
And they wait till the last minute when they're, now look at what's happening.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's so?
I mean, I think it's fear. And the reason I say this is because, I mean, I have a lot of people that I know that is like, wow, they're so talented. But then there's that fear of like, hey, you should go do it on your own. It's like, no, but, if I do it on my own and, there's a lot of liabilities and there's a lot of bills. And I'd rather, I'm good where I'm at. I have a good home, kind of going back to American dream.
Right.
The home, I have the car, I have the family. That's all I need. I'm making good money. But I think if the mentality, the mindset was different versus like, you know what? who said that the American dream was just a home and a car?
Mm-hmm.
If we put a higher standard to it, then it's like, you know what, like, no, like we gotta do above and beyond, because we're already here. I mean, it's one of the best countries in the world,
Right.
and you gotta make the best out of it. So why just come and be average just like everyone else, you know? So I think it goes back to, you know, like when we come in from another country, you come here, better opportunities, you start doing better, and I think what mainly happens all the time is the comfort.
Yeah.
You know, like they're like, oh,
You start making some money.
and I think that's it. That's all we need, you know. But it's just sad because there's a lot of talent out there. Especially, I mean, we're very hard workers.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the hard labor. I mean, we're the ones that get it done. I mean, your industry, my industry, HVAC. There's a lot of industries like that. That if only the people that were working for those big companies kind of took it to the side and started their own thing, I think it'd be way better for generations to come. But I see a little bit of more now. Honestly,
Right.
I see more
People taking the steps.
taking the steps. You know, which is really good, encouraging all different industries. So I'm loving that. But I think we still need more. You know, we need a bigger impact.
Yeah, and I also see immigrants from like other countries, especially India, China. They do come in, and they start businesses. And there's people that actually live here that are like comfortable and not do nothing other than go to school, because that's the big lie, right?
Yep.
Go to school, you be somebody.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? Like, what is there something that hunger comes into play when you're an immigrant because of the way they lived before?
I think 100%. I think hunger, but I think when it's immigrants from other countries, is more of the culture, you know, because I feel like in other countries, maybe the belief of money is completely a different standard than we have. For us, I feel like as long as we're like kind of like covered, I feel like that's kind of like it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like when you're talking about those countries, I mean, you look at the economy. India's economy is booming, you know.
Yeah.
So a lot of it, I feel like, is what they're teaching out there, or what comes from the parents. That maybe it comes with maybe more hunger, or kind of like work smarter, not harder type of thing. Because I mean, being honest, we work very hard, but I feel like sometimes we don't work that smart. It's like hard. I mean, if it was all about hard work, I mean, everyone would be millionaires,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, no, let's kind of take a step back. Let's figure out how can we work smarter, not harder. It's not about being lazy; it's about being smart. Because sometimes, I mean, if you're doing something, let's say I'm using manual tools, I'm using just a hammer and just like basic tools. You're doing the same thing on the other side. You have the electronic newest tools. You get the job done in 5 minutes. I get it done in 45 minutes. And I'm busting my ass. I'm working harder. You're working smarter, you know? So that has a big play, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree, because in my business I've bought machines to actually take the replacement of a shovel.
Yeah.
And it does a job way quicker than just having two laborers good in there and trench.
Yep.
And it's about smart work. Definitely. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
So would you say hunger is part of a circumstance, or it's actually a mindset?
I feel like it's a mindset. I feel like, I mean, the world's evolving, but I feel like our community, our culture, that's what our parents and our grandparents and so on, that's what we were taught.
Right.
I mean, my parents, my dad went to middle school, and that's where he ended. My mom, too. Maybe she did like 1 year of high school, but it's kind of like we don't have time for school. We got to get to work because we got to feed each other.
Right.
So I feel like it goes back to that. Because if you look at it, it's like, okay, well, life is about working and making money. Who cares if you have a good job or not? Like, you just got to make sure we work hard. You got to make sure we provide for the family. So I feel like it goes back way back when, you know?
Yeah, I think you're right. Mindset of the parents.
Yeah.
And the circumstances where they're living.
Yeah.
Because they have, especially us, man. We impregnate our women super early.
Yeah.
I know I did. I was 16, so it wasn't planned, but it just happened, and I had to work. I had to start early working. So maybe the circumstances, but it is a mindset of the parents, what they teach you, kind of like what your dad was implanting in your mind, right?
Yeah.
You got to do something with your life. You got to do something in life. So yeah, that's totally agreeable.
Yeah.
Good job on that one. When you chose those actions, right? You had a dream. What made you go ahead and start doing things with your life? Were you a early dreamer, or were you?
I mean, I feel like I've always been a dreamer, especially like, you know, going back to when I got here. There was so my dad's boss's kid was in my class. So even though they were, I mean, they're the most humble people there I probably know, like super, I mean, super, super wealthy. And you look at them and it's like, you can't tell they are wealthy.
Wow.
So it's not that they were showing up, but it's just like I would look at the home, I look at the cars, I'm like, damn, that's the life I want, you know? And
Right.
and it kind of goes back to the conversation me and my dad would have, you know, like, oh, I want you to have those things, you know, I want you to have the nice home and the pool and all that good stuff. He's like, but you gotta work hard. And the reason I'm bringing you to the fields is so you learn. And I don't want you to go through this life. I just want you to like kind of like put in the work right now, so you hate it. And it's like, you know what, like this is not what you want to be doing for the rest of your life,
Right.
like I am, you know. So I think it goes back to that, you know, seeing like the big picture at a very young age. I think is like, why not me, you know, like I want to do big things like that. But once again, for me, it was kind of like way down the road, like not like I was like, gotta go to college, gotta make sure that I get a degree, and I gotta get a good job, maybe at a dealer or something like that, move up. And then maybe around 40, you know, after I got it together, then maybe I can go ahead and get a business. That
Right.
was my mentality.
So you always wanted to have a business.
I always wanted to have the business, but like I said, not so soon.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you actually, we could touch on it. You're the owner of Rancho Express Loop, right?
Yes.
How did that come about?
I mean, it kind of goes back to I think it's God's plan, honestly, because if you look at the way it happened, I mean, I always talk about it, and I feel like people don't believe me sometimes, but it's like I swear this is how it went. Haven was closed. I was going to Chaffey College. There was a detour right there because there was construction. It made me go through church. On church is once again God's plan. Like I'm parked right here because of the red light. I look left and all I see is a shop. It
Right.
said not hiring. And I was about to go, like the light turned green. I'm like, you know what? Let me just turn left. I wasn't even looking for a job. But then I go in there, talk to the managers. Hey, I see the sign that you're hiring. Right away, he's like, oh, no, we're not hiring. I'm like, well, why does it say it up there? And they were racist.
Yeah.
So turn back, started going back to the car. And then I hear, hey. I look back, and it was actually the owner. He's like, hey, I saw that you came here to apply. I'm like, well, yeah, but the guy said they're not hiring. You know, no, forget that. There was miscommunication. But I already felt a little weird, like, they're not trying to hire someone like me, you know?
Right.
And I sat down with him, and I can remember when he asked me, you know what? As long as you're a hard worker, I don't really care about the experience, but I just want to make sure you show up on time, and the rest we can show you. I'm like, you know what? I mean, you can count on me. You know, I learned diesel more than gasoline. I mean, being involved with big machines over there with my dad. But I'm like, you know what? There's something that I can tell you is like, I'm gonna give it everything I got. You know, I'm not gonna do something I'm not sure on. I'll ask questions. So he gave me the shot. First 2 weeks I hated it because the manager were really rude to me. You know,
Right.
like I was literally downstairs, upstairs. I would get yelled at, and I wasn't being treated the way I thought I should be treated, even though it was like kind of like my first job.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect. And like maybe that's how everyone gets treated, you know. But it just got to the point. I told my dad it was the summer. It was the beginning of the summer actually, and then I told my dad because this was the second year I was over here. The first year I didn't work because I had money from all the previous summers when I was working up there, and I had some scholarships that I won. And I was supposed to go back to work with my dad for the summer. I already knew that I'd probably make about 15 grand. That would kind of get me through the year. And I told my dad, like, you know what, I'm probably gonna quit. That way I can go back. He's like, yeah, don't let anyone talk down to you. If you don't like it, just come over here, and then we'll figure it out later. And I was about to quit. And long story short, the owner saw how I actually went with the managers, and he ended up firing them. It was two brothers, manager and assistant, got rid of them. And then that's when he's like, you know what, you're learning really fast. This is like already a month and a half or so. I want you to start coming on Sundays, and I want to start like teaching you more things around the office, so maybe you can be like the assistant manager. Yeah, I'm up for it. But then I said I'm up for it, but inside of me is like, damn, dude, I hate talking to people. I hate the being in the storefront, answering phones. Like, dude, like, fuck. Like, how can I tell him that I don't like that, you know?
Yeah.
But I already had committed, so I'm like, it is what it is. So then first Sunday comes up. It went very well. I started selling a bunch of services that, you know, were recommended by obviously the status of the car. And he was impressed. He's like, wow, you did amazing. Have you ever worked at as a front position, sales or anything? I'm like, dude, I've never been in the front, never done sales. You did amazing. what did he do? I'm like, well, I just told him that, hey, you need this, and this is how it should look. And I mean, I've just told him the honest truth, you know.
People that need
He's
to
like,
hear.
he's like, well, you did a very good job. I want you to do more, and now I'm gonna give you this position, and then for now, I'm gonna be the manager. You're gonna be my assistant, and we're gonna take it from there. We're gonna figure it out together. Well, by 6 months, he put me as a manager, and that was the next problem that we had because at the time I was 19 years old. We had someone that was like over 30, and then someone over 50. So we got, I mean, obviously, young kid telling what older people what to do. So that was a little conflict. That, like I said, I would always take blame for it. I'm like, you know what? I told the owner, like, I think maybe you should hire a manager that has more experience and more to offer because I feel like these guys don't respect me. He's like, you know what? No, that's a problem because if they don't respect you, then I'm gonna let go of them because you're in charge. I don't care if you're 14, 15, you're in charge. You've shown the leadership that I'm looking for, and you're like you run this place like it's yours. And then it ran into conversations later, 2 years later, that hey, this place is gonna be yours. Around fall 2019, he's like, hey, maybe I'm gonna be selling the business. I'm gonna give you a little portion of it. And I got excited. I'm like, I'm gonna get a brand new Mercedes. I mean, 10% of the price. I'm gonna get good money, and I still have some money left.
Right.
But I'm like, that's going back to the mentality. That's the small mentality. Like, why not purchase a business? So then I told my dad, and then my dad is like, damn, if only we had the money to take over. And this is what I told, like these opportunities never come. And I just took it to the next level. I'm like, you know what? Like, I gotta fucking find the money. Like, I don't have access to credit, but I need to find the money. I gotta start asking around, and maybe if I can get a few thousand, and then I gotta talk to owner and see what we can do. And then we kind of stalled for a little bit. He didn't sell it to the person he was supposed to sell it. He's like, you know what? I'd rather sell it to you. So let's wait. I was supposed to buy it March 2020, but then COVID came in. Right. And I'm glad it came in at that time because I can't imagine if I would have taken over early and I would have been bad, Yeah. But then we went through the motions and hey, he's the one that said, I don't want you to start like this. Let's push it to June, July and see how things go, and then we'll go from there.
It's about you some time.
Yeah. So honestly, we never stopped working. We had a few fleets that we service. It was only 3 of us at the point. We did lose one because he did get COVID. So we had to kind of pretty much let him go. And July got better. I'm like, you know what? Let's get this thing going.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I was kind of like pushing back again. Yeah. I'm like, nah, let's get through it. I was able to get the funds. My former boss really worked with me. He's like, you know what? I really want to give it to you. We're gonna do a payment plan. Like, don't even worry about it. So
wow, that's amazing.
Amazing. Like, once again, very grateful for him. And
is he still alive?
Oh yeah. We always connect. For the same reason, I'm super grateful for him. He gave me a shot, but it's like no. You could understand that. Yeah, I'm giving you a great opportunity, but you earned this, Nestor.
Right.
You earned this because you would show up early. You would show up like sometimes until like 8-9 p.m. We close at 6. You wouldn't have to be there, but you were still there. So there's all those little things you did for me that to me it meant everything to me.
Yeah.
Like one of them that like really stood out was my first year there. I gave him a little cake. It was his birthday. I found out it was his birthday. I just gave him a little cake. I went on my lunch. Hey, I'm like, hey, I heard it's your birthday. Just a little something. Tears came out.
Wow.
And I'm like, is it not your birthday today? I'm like, did I screw up? Or like, he's like, no. He's like, sit down. He's like, I've been in business for over 25 years. I've had, a lot of employees for over 15 years. Not one employee has done this.
Wow.
So this means a lot to me. And I'm like, you know what? It's completely out of heart. I'm not trying to kiss ass or anything. It's just like, that's how I was raised. Like, I know it's your birthday, so I had to do something for you. A little appreciation.
Right. Right.
So that went like long ways. Like I said, that wasn't my intention. It was just like out of heart. Like, hey, here's a little something to celebrate your birthday. And I think that's what obviously the seed that was planted.
Nice, man.
We got super close. I see him as one of my first mentors.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's a beautiful story. It's like almost your whole purpose, right? Yeah. It's like everything lined up for you to go show up there.
Yeah.
And then he goes after you left. That's an amazing story.
That's why I said God's plan, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes.
Make it up.
and then you became an employee, now a CEO.
Yeah.
That's just amazing.
Yeah.
It's God has a lot of plan for us.
Yeah.
So, and the opportunities that the man gave you,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you almost look at him like a business father, right?
100%. That I like the relationship that we have is so amazing. I mean, we're family. You
Right.
know, we're talking about the wife, the kids. Like we're family. My parents and them. Like we get along very very well.
Mm-hmm.
My parents obviously very grateful for the opportunity he gave me.
So now move fast forward.
Mm-hmm.
What drives you now in business?
I mean,
Being that you own this company and you're a business owner.
I mean, for me, it's my family. I mean, back then, I mean, obviously my parents, but now, I mean, my parents still, obviously
Mhm.
my siblings, but my beautiful wife, my kids, like, that's the reason why. I mean,
You work
I
hard
know
every day.
I do it. I know you do it for the same reason, and I think that's one of the biggest whys. I mean, that's my everything, you know.
Right.
So it's my responsibility to make sure I show up for them. But aside from showing up now, is like it's about leaving a legacy behind for the kids, you know.
Mhm.
Like have them obviously. I don't like the easy way out. I don't like them to be grandfathered into something that, you know, I don't like that
Yeah.
concept, but I want something that, going back to what we're talking about being a parent, teach them the things that they don't teach in school.
Mhm.
That way we create something great and they can make it even greater. That's my purpose.
Yeah, you got to show them a little bit of worth ethic
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
'Cause
100%.
when you give them all, it's like
Yeah, they don't value
that
it.
hunger that we talked about earlier that
Yeah.
fades away.
Yep. Yeah.
So what's one of the hardest lessons that you learned in business?
Oh man.
I mean, if you could do one.
I think, I mean, there's a lot, but I feel like the main one, because looking at the first 2 years in business to the third year in business, there's a huge difference, and it just went back down to understanding the value of your time.
Mm.
And I think as Latinos that we open up our business, we think it's okay to wear all the hats, to be the manager, the assistant, the guy that answers the phones, the marketer, the everything.
Right.
I completely understand, but I felt like I got to that point in the year 2 that I felt like I was stuck already. I'm like, yeah, it's going all right. I'm making money, but I'm there from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. I'm married. I felt like my marriage was not getting any love. So it was like, man, like at that point, what was going through my mind is like, I'd just rather be the employee at this point because I would get more time for with my wife, you know?
Right.
But it's like, okay, no, you're going the wrong way again. So it's like valuing, like finding true value in your time. I think is one of the biggest things I wish I would have understood like since day one, because it was at that point that even my dad's like, oh, you used to spend more time with us when you were an employee. You became an owner. One of the things was because I like being in control of my time, but it's like it's completely opposite.
Yeah.
You're there more. You don't take as much time off to come visit, and that really hit me. I'm like, you know what? Something has to change. I can't be the guy in the front always all the time. I know there's a lot high liability, but I gotta make sure I bring in people better than me.
Right.
So that started becoming my focus. I gotta bring someone better than me in this. I gotta bring someone better than me in that. I gotta bring all the better players that are in my team that are way better than me. Because if I'm the smartest one, we have a problem.
Yeah.
You know? But I think that's the biggest lesson for me, understanding the true value of your time as a CEO.
Yeah. So did you have to clean shop with people?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
I mean, that I think that's one of the things that took me the longest. Gathering up the team players really made a difference. And at first, I was afraid of like, I can't let this guy go because he has a family. It's like, like I can't do that to him. But it's more like you gotta separate them. You know, there's a friendship and there's obviously ownership. And something I learned from Brandon Dawson is like when you make decisions, you have to make them with logic, not with feelings, emotions. So when you put it that way, it's like, okay, let's do it. Let's do numbers. Numbers don't lie.
Right.
And if we do it the number way, then obviously there's more logic behind it versus like, oh well, you know, you're not producing, but I'm gonna keep it because of sympathy. Well, it's like you're actually doing a disservice to them because you're not making them better.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's one of the biggest things that I struggled in the early stage.
So now you have a whole new culture.
100%.
How do you maintain that?
I mean, obviously, you still gotta show up. You gotta show up and be the leader that you know the team deserves to have.
Right.
Because if imagine that it worked so hard to gather up the team. I always compare it to sports. Imagine you got the LA Lakers got 5 Kobe's on the team. Great players. But then if there's no coach seeing the game from the outside, Kobe is probably not going to win as much. Even though Kobe's super hungry and whatnot, you gotta have someone that leads.
Strengths and weaknesses of
Even though he
people,
can be a great leader, but you need that outside guy that's like, oh, I see things that maybe you're not seeing because you're seeing them within.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'd be the same way if I just kind of like, oh, I made a great roster. Let me just dip. You know.
Yeah.
Then I can start. Like I'm not like that.
Right.
You know, I still gotta show up. I gotta make sure that we're obviously going where we need to go, because if we're not doing that, then I'm at risk of losing great people in my company.
Yeah.
So obviously that's when you lose good talent sometimes. Everything has a lid. As an employee, you have a lid, and as an employer, you have the lid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as you're getting those break points, something has to happen. Either we need to separate ways because maybe you're lacking tools, and maybe it's my fault because I'm not providing those tools. You end up quitting, you go to another company, and guess what happens? You're the top performer over there.
Yeah.
You could have been over here, but I wasn't providing the tools. That means I was capped out. But it could be the other way. I want to go to the top. You're like, you know what? I'm comfortable at 100K. And it's like, well, I need someone that wants 300K.
Mm-hmm.
So what needs to happen now? It's like, hey, you know what? I think we're not in alignment. I think nothing against you, great person, whatever. But I think, you know, it just doesn't make sense for us to keep working together, because if I want to go here, you want to go here. We're wasting our time.
Right.
You're not liking it. I'm not liking it. So why do this? Let's be adults and let's do it the right way, the professional way, you know? But yeah, it's just obviously mentorship, coaching has helped me tremendously. My mindset completely shifted after that second year in business, just from learning from people that have done similar things, not even in my industry, but just in life and in other industries, you know?
Yeah, business is business. I mean, regardless of you're a mechanic in construction, the whole logistics of it is the same.
Yep. Yeah.
So what habits do you do that help you grow in your business and in life?
To me, discipline is one of the biggest ones.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, it goes back to the sports. In high school, I started playing football in ninth grade. I had no idea whatsoever how football worked, the plays, the rule. I had no knowledge in it. So going back to that, I'm super competitive, and I'm like, you know what? I want to get good at football. I want to be the receiver. I want to score touchdowns. I want to be the offensive guy. So first year I was tight end. I hated it because I was blocking. I wanted to be that guy that's like the hero of the team.
Yeah.
So I worked hard that summer. Next year, sophomore, I took the position of the senior. I was a sophomore. It created a little bit of tension, but it's like, you know what? Like the coach is like, we gotta have the best players on the field.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to that, it's the same way I treat business. I gotta make sure there's discipline, because if there's no hungry for more growth, I know what's gonna happen the next season.
Yeah.
You know, we're not gonna have a better year. So if I look at the way I operate, discipline is one of the biggest things, but then the next one would be courage. I think those two things are the main things that, you know, that define me. Everything that I've done, it has been with the courage of obviously accomplishing a mission. And everything that I've done is because I hated it. I got into public speaking because I hated public speaking. It made me uncomfortable. I'm like, you know what, I gotta get better at it.
Yeah.
So I started getting better at it. That automatically makes my confidence way higher. So the way I carry myself is completely different, just because now I'm not uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm comfortable. So it's like a lot of the things that I've done, it's just I see it as a challenge.
Yeah.
And I think that's the vision of having that courage that, you know what, like, this is not it. There has to be more. But then along the line, you have to have discipline, because then it's kind of like we're working out, you know, like at some point, sometimes you fall off. It's like, oh, it got hard. It's week 2. And it's like, you're
sore.
I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
The discipline to keep going is big.
Yeah. Now, you said something earlier about, you know, you treat business as like it's like a sport, and it truly is a sport.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're the coach. You got your players.
Yeah.
You know, who's gonna score? Let's just say if it's basketball, who's gonna score more? Who's gonna block?
Yeah.
And a lot of businesses are defensive and offensive, right? Because they're reactive on the defensive and proactive on the offensive.
Yeah.
So it's very similar. That's how I look at my business too. It's like, what am I doing to be productive?
Yeah.
And there's sometimes where, you know, if I fall defensive, I have to get up to that offensive.
But that's why it's our job to make sure that we're being the best coach possible. That's why, you know, having good team players, it's kind of like, you know what, maybe you have good leaders in the team. It's like, hey, coach, or hey, boss, what do you think about this? Because that's once again going back to when I was little, that's what my dad would do for his boss. So it's like, damn, I like the boss. I'm not trying to be biased, but my dad's boss is so lucky because my dad brings so many good ideas to him, and that's why he does them. So now they work together. It's like, hey, no, I think it's a great idea, but what do you think about this?
Right.
So going back to that, it's like, you know what, like I need people like my dad
Yeah.
is to his boss.
Solution oriented.
Exactly, because then obviously when you work as a team, it's like when the hard times hit, that's when you really find out who the real players are. But you work together, and it makes things obviously better down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's pivot into overcoming struggles.
Okay.
Like, has there ever been a time where you said, I wanted to quit? I mean, you kind of mentioned it earlier where, you weren't spending time with your family.
I think it was like after the second year of business, it got a little bit tight. Not gonna lie, and it felt like I was kind of like I was lost.
Right.
I felt like the hunger in me wasn't really there as much. I was just kind of going the day by day. Like, oh, I gotta make sure that gotta get some money and gotta do it over again. But it was kind of like walking like this, like I was
Blind.
just blind, and I was just like day by day, and then hopefully it works out. But then it's like that's not the future I want,
Right.
because if business is not going the way I want it, and marriage is not going the way I want, like fuck it, I'm not liking this thing,
Yeah.
So that's when I'm like, you know what, like maybe this wasn't meant for me. Maybe that's when
All the
the
doubt
mind
starts to fear
yeah
in.
the mind starts hitting in. It's like, damn, like, but then it's like, you know what, no, we worked way too hard for this. My parents worked way too hard to get me here, and I'd be a fool if I quit now.
Yeah.
So like, no, let's get it together. And that's when it opened my mind. Like, you know what? I need to learn from people that are doing big things in life. And that's when I researched automotive conference near me, and ended up being in Nashville. Like, fuck. I told my wife, like, hey, she was working at a private school, and I'm like, hey, think you can get these days off so we can go to Nashville? I would like to bring you with me. That way, you help me out, because at the beginning phases, my wife was kind of like the face. She was the one like showing up at the Chamber of Commerce meetings,
okay.
and kind of like that.
Yeah.
But then she's like, you know what? You want to be the owner? You gotta show up to those chamber meetings, because that's what the title comes with. And I'm like, shit. But she did it for the same reason, that she knew I was very uncomfortable public speaking, talking to people. I was just so like oh my god, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I would just shake, from being so nervous. But then she's like, why are you like that? Like, what is it, a fear? Like, what is it? And I don't know. I feel like people are judging me because of my accent. She's like, that's just in your head. Just go ahead and do it, and then who cares if they think or say something. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Don't let that get to you, So that obviously that helped me huge, overcome that mindset that I had. But yeah, man, I think that was one of the hardest ones that I had that second year in business, because I felt like the world was shutting down on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you moving forward to now? Do you still get into a little bit of setbacks or?
Oh, I mean, all the time. I feel like, I mean, being completely honest, I feel like every day you have setbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. Maybe it sounds like I have it all figured out. I don't. I really don't figure it out. There's always something that happens.
It's a beast, huh? Business is a beast.
That's literally what it is. I mean, yesterday at the conference with Daniel G, that's what he was saying. Business is about who can handle more problems.
Yeah.
And also employees. If you look at someone's paycheck, it's equivalent to the way they manage problems. So you have someone making $100K a year. That's kind of like the cap of managing problems. That can manage more. That's why they make that. So it's equivalent to what they're making. And business is the same way. As a CEO, if you want to be Jeff Bezos, you have to be able to handle a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
But if you want to be like that, but you can't handle it, then the two things have to happen. Either you don't get to that level, and you're like, you know what, I'll take the easy way out. I'll just stay small. Or I can be big. If Jeff is at the level he is, the option that you should pursue is study him. How does he do this? How does he do that? That's what I do, So yeah, 100%. I mean, I always have setbacks. I mean, all the time. I feel like we should talk about setbacks way more.
Yeah.
Obviously, but I feel like it's entrepreneurship is not a perfect journey. Today can be good. Tomorrow can be bad. I mean, kind of like the whole idea, like, sometimes what they do on social media. Monday you have 100K, Tuesday you have 150, and then Friday sometimes you have $2. It's like it's the
That's
way it
true.
is.
It's true,
It's the
man.
way it is, you know. So it's like
The-
going back to the problems. If you can handle that pain, man, like you're gonna do big things in life.
Yeah.
And then there's the people that can't handle that. And it's like, oh, you know, this is not for me.
Yeah, just coming here right now. I was on a call with my CFO, and I was
Yeah.
like, he was chewing me out. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, like, I'm trying my best to collect money from my clients because our account was, but
Yeah.
it goes up the next week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just like a big roller
Yep,
coaster.
that's what it is. So it's like the way you react to it, you can be like you said, you can get defensive, or you can be like, you know what, it's gonna be cool. But obviously with a strategy, not like, oh, it's gonna be good and not do anything about it. That's the difference, you know. But that's I think that's one of the things that has helped me the most. Like my mentality, the way I react, completely 360 difference than before. I mean, sometimes I tell my wife the problems that I'm having, and she's like, why are you chill like you are? This is big. I'm like, dude, it's fine. Like Elon Musk has bigger problems than this. Like
Yeah.
I always compare it to that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to be like this person. This is part of the package. Like
Right.
this is nothing. And something that I also look at is like, if money is the only problem, you have no problems.
Right.
I mean, if I have good health, I have a family, have a roof, trust me, I have no problems. That's, to me, that's the way I look at life.
Yeah.
You can't say money's, that's not your problem.
Right.
What you got to worry about is your health. You got, everyone's healthy. You got a roof under you. You got enough money to at least eat, and obviously just get gas and make it work. I think that you're blessed if you have that.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Your wife sounds like she's a very encouraging wife.
100%.
Yeah.
You know that saying of, you know, a woman really makes a great man. And I think 100% on that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta have her challenge you a little bit, but encourage you.
Yeah.
Right. Especially as a business owner.
Yep.
You need that.
It's like when people say, "Oh, I have the perfect marriage," I'm like, that's bullshit. It's the same way when like, "Oh, my business is perfect." It's bullshit.
It's not, this is
The
raw,
marriage, the business, even on a winning team. I mean, look at the Warriors when they blew the 73-9 run. I mean, perfect example. You can say, "Oh, it's a great thing that's going on," but on the internal, maybe there was a lot of things that was happening that no one knew about.
Yeah.
And those sort of setbacks that sometimes it turns out to be the way it does. But then it's how you react and come back up. You know, that's what really matters.
So when you are going through that stress, like how do you deal with it?
What I learned is when I have whatever problem I have, it doesn't matter what like attachment of money it has. It can be something so big. I'm not gonna stop doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Obviously, unless it's an emergency that really means something to me, then that's a completely different story. But if it's like, let's say, a business problem and it's gonna cost you thousands of dollars, even though it's thousands of dollars, I'm like, okay, I'll get to it later. It's not on my schedule right now. Then I'll be like, okay, the day's over. Okay, I gotta figure this thing out. I want to know where the problem came from. So I'm big on writing things. I have a whiteboard and I write everything. I like writing things down and taking a step aside and seeing the big picture. Because if I write it like this, then it's like I'm just like my mind is like it's like, you know, like it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
So if I write it down and I'm like, okay, this has happened because of this, and it led to this. Nah, the problem is this, but that's not the real problem. This has been building up,
right?
And this is my fault. So I always take responsibility, and all the problems that happen, I always take responsibility. It's my fault this happened because I should have saw this 2 weeks ago, and it's my fault. It's not my employee's fault. It's my fault because I should have seen that.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, how can we change this? Okay, well, hey, you know what? As a team, we talk about, hey, XYZ happened. It can't happen again. If it happens again, then we have a problem. It's always going to be a problem. So it's either we fix it together, we make sure that everyone understands why this happened, and let's get over it. No hurt feelings, but it's a learning lesson.
Yeah.
But if it happens again, then we have a different story. It's like, okay, you know, we talked about this. We were so clear on it, and I'm sorry, but I just can't let this fly again.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how I do this. Before it was like victim mentality. Dude, why me? Like, we're honest people. We do the thing the right way, but why am I like, why God, why are you doing this to me? But if you react that way, and once again, Daniel G said this the same way yesterday. He's like, sometimes you want more money, you're praying for more money, and then the next day, you're in the morning, hey, God, please don't give me any problems today. But yet you don't realize that money equals problems. So God is giving you problems because he's trying to give you money, but he's trying to teach you a lesson. but you want to check
Yeah.
without doing the work. So that it's like you're contradicting yourself. And that's the same mentality I have. You can't ask for more business growth without problems.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've seen it in different stages. The higher you keep going, I mean, the higher problems you're gonna have.
Well, it's just like Biggie Smalls said, right?
Yeah,
The
more
more
money, more
money, more
problems.
problems.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But I think there's a false belief, especially in social media.
Yeah.
Love what you do.
Oh yeah.
And no problems.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they paint this picture like it's beautiful, but
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
it's crazy.
I had this conversation with David Rivero too. It's like, imagine if I did what I loved. I love basketball, but I'm 5'9". I can't be a good basketball player, and it's kind of like the perspective you're saying. If I do what I love, it's not gonna work out.
No.
But if if I do what I hate, and I get good at it, then normally things go better. And then maybe you can go look at it as a hobby, what you love, and that's a different story.
Right.
Or you gotta focus on the things that you hate, and you get better at them. Because, I mean, being honest, we hate things for a reason. It's not just because.
Right.
I hated public speaking because it made me uncomfortable in my mind, that I thought I was being judged. That's why I hated it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an excuse. So everything we don't like to do, it's just an excuse. Like there has to be a reason why. Yeah. It's not just because that's how you were born.
Right.
So that's my perspective.
Let's talk about a little bit of your legacy.
Uh-huh.
Like, what do you plan to leave with your kids and the people that you're surrounded with?
To me, I want to build something big in the automotive industry, a franchise. And I don't want necessarily my kids to be like, oh, grandfather into automotive, like going back to like what my dad told me. But what I want is if there's one of my kids that can make it bigger and better and whatever it is, great. But then it comes to a point that what I want for my kids is to just see my journey as a lesson. Hey, dad went from here to here. Let's make that bigger, but let's do our own thing. Let's make what he did in a different industry, but let's make it bigger. For me, that's the biggest thing. I want to make sure we raise our kids the way that is gonna put them in a way better position, but not giving them freebies. So
right,
not like, oh, here you go, here's a new car. Not gonna do that.
Right,
because that's the way I learned. Like I was picking up garlic. I mean, I was going to school. I was waking up at 4 a.m. Like my mom, and it's like those are the things that made me today.
But going back to what we talked about earlier, that one of the false beliefs as parents that is I want to give my kid everything.
I didn't have, right?
I didn't have that.
Yeah.
And we talked about the hunger aspect, right? Yeah. And I think when you do that, you stop giving them the hunger.
Yeah.
To actually go out and get it.
Yeah.
And earn it.
And I think it's that, but also I feel like it's like I learned this lesson too when my first kid, my wife would always be like, stop giving it to her, like our daughter, like let her work for it. And it was like sometimes if my daughter was there and there was a toy right there, she was looking at it and I'd grab it. She's like, this is not how you teach kids. And she obviously has a teacher background. She's like, you have to let her crawl and get the toy, because then she starts getting used to that. And then now it's like we're making them miserable because now it's like everything's given
instant.
To you. So when she grows, what's going to happen? She's going to give me this, give me that. Same thing when first thing that sometimes we teach kids is the no word. Don't touch this. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do that. What starts happening as they're growing up?
They don't want to do it because they're afraid to say no.
The word of no is kind of like the favorite thing, and the rejection. It's oh no, like no, everything's no.
Right.
But it goes back to raising the children the way that you want them to be in the future, but not necessarily like, hey, I want my daughter to be an entrepreneur. What about if she's I don't know, a great athlete, a painter, but I just want her to do something bigger than anything, But my legacy is more about like creating an opportunity, but have them earn it. I mean, I look at Shaq the same way. When they did a podcast with his son, and the son is like, "Hey, Dad, how come you don't buy me a car?" He's like, "Hey, you don't get it twisted, son. It's my legacy. You're gonna get obviously good things, but it's my money. I'm rich. You're poor.
That's true.
You have to work for it. I'm here to support you. If you need help, I'm gonna help you out. But don't expect that here you go and no. You have to earn it.
Yeah.
If you tell me that you want to pursue whatever, I'll help you get there. But don't come at me that, oh, gotta buy you a car. I'm not gonna do that. Because if I do that for you, then you think my money is your money, but that's not how we work. I work so hard to get the thing I have. I'm trying to make it bigger, way bigger than anything. But you gotta also support us.
Yeah.
Because if I'm giving it to you, then all that stuff that I did hard is I'm throwing it away myself, and we don't want that.
Yeah. So how do you stay grounded with owning a business, having a family, and
I think that's a good question, because I feel like that's something a lot of people struggle with, the staying humble part. I think you do have to in order for you to kind of like stay grounded, I feel like you have to appreciate everything that you've gone through, but stay in that ground of like, you know what, like look at people here and don't look at people like this.
Damn.
Because I don't think money makes anyone better. I feel like there's people that maybe they're not doing that well financially, but up here they're way richer than most people in this world. But I feel like it's more about like, hey, don't judge someone basing it off on the amount they make. Don't feel better than someone else. It's just sometimes because of the lack of resources that someone's maybe not doing so well.
Right.
So that's the way I look at it. I mean, I treat everyone the same. I don't care if you have money or you don't have money. You're a human, you know, and that's what I care about, because it's respect for me. You know, I want to be respected at all times. So that's what I give. And if you're kind of a jerk, you judge or whatever, then that's kind of making you a hypocrite of saying, oh, I want to help people, because on the back end, you're not doing that, you know? So that's my mentality for me. Is like, I want to help people do bigger things, because I know when I was, like I said, going up the ranks, the person that helped me was my boss. I want to do the same opportunities to my employees.
Yeah.
Because if I do that, it forces me to make everything bigger and make more franchises, more stores. So it's giving that opportunity over and over and over. That helps me stay grounded, because just on my background, you know, like I just don't, even though people say, oh, he changed with money. No, it's not that money changed me. It's that my perspective of life changed.
Yeah.
So like going back to your circle, I feel like that's why a lot of people think, oh, money changed you. You're not the same. No. Don't talk about money. It's not the money problem. The problem here is that you start getting clear on what you want in life, and you start saying no to the partying and to the distractions that now money changed you. No. And I feel like that's something that sometimes people, like the people that don't have the money, I feel like the ones that talk about more about money than the rich people do. And it's like, oh, they don't come here now because, oh, they're rich now. You know, they don't need us. But it's not that. It's the fact that what comes with the package, the conversations, the judging others. Oh, that he like those conversations, to me, it's just negativity.
Yeah.
It's like I get bored. It's like it drains that on me. It drains my soul. You know, I gotta be pumped up. I gotta have as much energy as possible, even if everything's going the wrong way. I gotta show up for my people.
Yeah.
Because if the world's tearing me down and I show up like that to my business, that gets carried away. It gets carried away to them, and that turns a bad day into a bad week.
Yeah.
And I don't have time for that, you know? So you really have to obviously stay grounded, but really don't feel bad just because, even like, I mean, family sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, like this and that. Don't feel bad if you're doing whatever you're doing. Obviously, I mean, stay grounded. Don't stop talking to them because maybe they're not at the level financially that you are, but base it off more on like, hey, you know what? The reason that I'm not the way that I used to be is because I'm really clear on what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
No disrespect. I mean, we still love each other, but I would really appreciate your support. So your support would really mean the world to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Seeing yourself during Thanksgiving, Christmas, to me, that's enough. To me, it's even better because there's like, hey, long time no see, let's catch up. That for me is like way more memorable than seeing each other every weekend.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when the whole every weekend thing starts turning into a gossip.
Well, it's like you can love on people from a distance, right? Put up a boundary.
Yeah.
And sometimes family's the worst critics of you.
100%. I agree with that.
It's like they say they're happy for you, but behind your back they're hating on you. Yep. And that creates a negative blockage from them to actually receive.
Yeah.
Because they're not that they're wishing bad on you, but they're not accepting your positivity.
They're not excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's. I mean, that you hit that right in the spot, because I mean I went through that. At first it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have all these raving fans and my family, and it's like, shit, dude, like I thought I'd get all the support. I thought I would get everyone's cars, and it's completely the opposite.
Uh,
And it's like at first you're like, oh, congrats, you're amazing, and it's like, oh shit, well,
he's better than me now.
yeah, he's better than me now. It's like, man, it's not about that we can win together, and that's the sad part. That now, especially at the point right now, I'm very well connected. I have a lot of friends that sometimes it can open up big business accounts.
Yeah.
I have close family that can be like, hey, you know what, like, let me connect you. But since there's that separation, I mean, I hate it, but it's like, it don't feel right.
Right.
Because sometimes
You don't want to burn your bridges.
you don't want to burn your bridge, because if you have someone that obviously very close in your circle, you want to be nice. It's like, oh, let me pass it over to the family. You're not really close with the family, but you're like, oh, let me help them out. But what about if they don't deliver?
Yeah.
Then it's, I'd rather give it to my good friend, because sometimes friends become more family than family is.
That's
honestly.
true.
So it's like, help them out, because at the end of the day, it's my word, and it's everything to me. If I'm gonna give you a referral, I can't burn my bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, I mean, I've learned from other people that sometimes, like, oh yeah, let me refer you to this person, and it ends up being a very bad experience. And now maybe they stop talking. He's, oh, you refer someone really bad, I screwed over, and that tells me how you. So it just goes bad the wrong way, you know.
Yeah. How do you feel? Is it sometimes lonely, even though we're surrounded by people? It's a lonely world.
I think it is. I think if it were, I mean, honestly, I have a pretty good circle of, very influential people, but on a day to day, I mean, it completely honest, it's just literally my wife and my kids and my parents. I'm not seeing my parents every day. I see my sister. I mean, she lives with us. I mean, she has her job and whatnot, but
Yeah.
that's, and my employees. But that's like my circle. I just came right now from ESPN studios with another friend. But it's like those close people that sometimes you don't have to talk to each other every day. But it's like, I mean, we don't talk to each other every day, but it's like when we do, it's like, hey, you texted me, hey, you want to come over? Like, I think to me, that's where the value is at.
Yeah.
Because you respect each other and whatnot. There's always gonna be opportunities that there's something that pops up. Let me talk to you. What do you think about this? But I think that's still, to me, I have a pretty good circle, but on a day to day, it's like, it's just my kids and my family. Yeah.
Well, right on, man. Any final words? Any advice for a business owner that is struggling, or just anybody that wants to take the next step?
Man, I think if you're struggling, you just gotta make it work. And the way I put this is, you can't expect the difference if you don't change.
Right.
So whatever you're going through, doesn't matter what level. If you're making $100K, couple $1,000,000, if it's not going the right way, there has something has to happen.
Mhm.
Something has to shift. So just focus on doing kind of like I call it like analysis of your business. That's why I'm really big with numbers and studying how days, weeks, months, quarters go. Analyze that.
Right.
Like, where are the things going bad? If we have to start getting better people, whatever it is, start taking action, and do it more, because especially you got started already. Don't let it like go this way. Don't give up too soon. If it's not going well, seek counsel. There's a lot of amazing people out there that can probably help you out. Obviously, there's always gonna be money involved. But I mean, it is what it is. If you need money, I mean, don't be shy. Maybe ask a friend, family member. If you're able to get some finance, credit card, whatever, like, just make it work.
Right.
My mentality is always make it work. If it doesn't go well, at least you tried, and lesson learned, on to the next one. If you're trying to start your business, just go all in. Don't go 50%. Go all in. Study your business more than anything, because it's your business, and you have to care, and you have to make sure that you're covered on all bases. So something that I like saying is, if you're going to be in the automotive industry, study the top automotive industries. So you're going to be a plumber, study the top plumbers. But at the same time, study people that have a great mindset, mentality, that done great things, and learn from them. I mean, like Steve Jobs, like people like that.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I'm really big on audiobooks. Sometimes if you don't have the money to have a mentorship or whatever, there's amazing audiobooks that maybe they're like $10-20. Man, you get so much value in them. But you gotta make sure you do the work.
Right on. So where can people find you?
They can find me on all platforms, Nestor Gutierrez, and then my business is Rancho Express Loop.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
So if you guys need your car fixed, go to this guy.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Awesome, man. It's been a pleasure. It was fun.
Thank you. It was
Thank
fun.
you for being here, man. We got a lot of value, and hopefully it could help somebody else.
Definitely. Thank you, brother.
So, cool, man. Hey, thank you so much for tuning into Hands, Heart, and Hustle. If this conversation with Nestor Gutierrez spoke to you, take a moment to reflect, subscribe, and share it with somebody who needs to hear it. Until next time, keep your hands working, your heart aligned, and your hustle growing with purpose. The greatest gift that I got is grit. Resilient, I don't know how to quit, and I don't know what it is.